Hey there, designers. Have you ever realized that as you do your work, you generally start with something abstract and move to something more concrete and understandable? Well, actually, that's great if you are, because that's really the job of a designer. It's to take abstract things that are difficult to understand, make them concrete, solid, and easy to understand. And really, we do that with solutions. So if you're on this track, awesome. But I wanted to share with you a simple little framework that helps you understand how to move from this abstract, loosely defined world to this more concrete, stabilized, solid work. Let's dive in. Hey there, I'm John Dial, and I'm here to help you improve your design and creative abilities. Now, I've been observing this pattern for quite a while, and I'm not the only one who's observed this, but the idea is that we have this increasing specificity with design. The longer we work on a problem, the more concrete and more specific we get in the work that we output. Day after day after day, we add more and more refinement until the point we get to the end where we've shipped a solution or we've been able to create a product that actually solves whatever it is that we're working on. So why does this matter? Well, it matters because we can actually get ahead of ourselves. And if we're not careful, we'll start creating and designing on the very top, very high resolution, really fine details without really understanding the structure and the architecture underneath. You can actually check out my other video that talks about the elements of user experience if you're interested in learning how that plays out in the user experience world. But it's good for any designer to understand that we're generally always moving from this kind of rough understanding, rough sketches, to this more concrete, beautiful, finally formed solution that actually answers the problem we started with. So it might look something like this. Imagine sort of this very long-winded spiral, and at the bottom you sort of enter and you spiral around and around and around and around, and you might go 4, 5, 6, or 20 even layers up till eventually you exit this spiral. We're making progress and we're going up, but you can see there's this back and forth movement. And on one side, we're sort of doing some creationary work. On one side, we're always trying to form something to answer the other side, which is sort of this analytical or analysis side. And we always start with a basic understanding of what we're trying to accomplish, and then we move towards solutions. And every day, at every step, at every point in our design process, we are layering more and more and more refinement until we get to the point where we've solved it and we can actually hand that design off, or we can actually hand off the product to people to start using. So a process might look something like this. It might look something like this idea or this prompt. And then you might move to sort of a rough definition of what you're actually trying to accomplish. Why are you doing what you're doing? Now, if you skip this step, you might actually miss the entire target. And that's why it's important to have a really solid definition of what you're actually going for and what you're trying to accomplish. And if you're working with lots of other people, this kind of clear understanding makes sure that everyone is on the same page and everyone's shooting for the same end goal. So now that you have this idea or this prompt, and you have an idea or a goal of what you're trying to accomplish, or you have a problem stated pretty well, you're going to start mocking up some ideas. And generally these are very, very low definition. These are low resolution. The idea is just to get a bunch of things out there. So you might work with a pencil and paper, or you might work on a tablet doing some rough sketching ideas. The point is that sketching is super cheap and super fast, and it starts bringing form that people can interact with. You can mock up a quick interface or sketch out a quick little product or draw a map of the thing that you're trying to accomplish. And that way people can begin engaging with it. They can start pointing to areas that don't make sense or don't fit with what they thought they understood. This is great because this is cheap. You can just erase, or you can flip the page, or you could just flip the page or erase the board or start over. Really, really fast and really cheap. You've lost virtually nothing except a little bit of lead, ink, and or whatever you might be using to sketch this out on. Then you're going to move into something a little more solid. This is where you might begin prototyping or building little parts and components. But at the end of the day, you're beginning to bring form in the real world and in the real mediums that you'll actually be producing in. This is not the final thing, but you're getting closer and closer and closer. Now at this point, you're not quite done, but you might be able to use this early prototype. You might be able to start circulating it around or get it into testing. But at the end of this process, then essentially you're going to land with what is accepted as the best fit, the optimal solution that you're going for with the problem you're trying to solve. And then you can move into the very final stage, which is really making sure that you've packaged it, that it's well, that it's handed off, that it's complete, that everything is necessary there to actually implement and or to actually take it across the finish line for whatever you're trying to do. This is pretty simple, and this is a process that most people will follow. If you wanted to put a process on design, which I really don't like, and if you're interested in learning more about how I think about design processes, you could check out that video there. But when you're finished bringing a high enough definition to the solution you're going to be delivering, then you've won. You've completed and you're done. And you can actually see how people interact with it. And yeah, you might need to make some adjustments. Yeah, you might need to layer in just a little more tweaks here and there, but that's design. That's part of what we do. Nothing we ever produce is going to be 100% perfect. It may be great and it may be amazing, but it's not going to be perfect. And so our goal then as designers is to make the best possible fit for the problem that we're actually solving for. And this idea of starting very loose is a powerful way of getting alignment early and a powerful way of exploring lots of different ideas without investing the entire bank into it. So if this video was helpful for you, or this idea of increasing specificity is something that's new to you, go ahead and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. We'll have plenty more content coming out to help you improve your design and creative abilities. Or if you had any questions or thoughts, make sure to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear how this is helping you in your design work every day. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everyone who's been engaging with my content and giving likes and thumbs up and claps and hearts and all the other things. It's been a joy and it's been wonderful to share with you all the things that I've learned over my career and to give some of that back to you. Thanks for watching. Go make something awesome.